first of all, as I said at the beginning, my name's Rob Haynes, and I'm the president of the BC Entertainment Hall of Fame. This is kind of the formal part of the induction. And of course, today we have a very special induction into the hall, and it's taken a while, but we managed to do it. For those of you that might not know too much about the BC Entertainment Hall of Fame, we're a non-profit organization, and we celebrate people in the entertainment industry that have a rich body of work right here in British Columbia, and that's really important that people understand that. And we celebrate over 300 Starwall and Pioneer inductees that have been honored for their significant contribution to the province's cultural landscape. Now, the City of Vancouver in 1992, they designated this area of the Orpheum Theatre to be the home of the BC Entertainment Hall of Fame. And today, of course, we're delighted to induct Jeff into the BC Entertainment Hall of Fame as one of our honored pioneers. And I can tell you, when we got the nomination forms, the list of people nominating Jeff was really, really important. And it really was a who's who of the entertainment industry. So you had a lot of really good people. And now here to tell you a little bit about Jeff, because of course none of you know anything about him. I asked Bill Ullman to come. Bill is on our board of the BC Entertainment Hall of Fame. And Bill, here you go. You can say a few words. I think you have it memorized anyway.
Just about. It's when Rob called me and asked could I come out today, I said, oh, for the person who helped warp me as a child, certainly. So it's an honor to be here, Mr. Groberman. Jeff Groberman, producer and writer, born and raised in Vancouver. I tell any lie, bust me. While at Simon Fraser University, he approached CBC to write a series of topical comedy sketches. The sketches, co-written with Colin Yardley, played locally and then nationally on CBC Radio, our national treasure. A year later, the CBC approached the two to develop a one-hour national comedy show, and the infamous Dr. Bundolo's Pandemonium Medicine Show was born. In 1976, Jeff joined CKVU Television and was hired for the station's flagship, The Vancouver Show. Jeff remained at CKVU for 5 years as a writer, performer, producer, and executive producer. In 1980, he returned to CBC to produce 2 more seasons of Dr. Bundolo for television. In 1981, he produced The Paul Anka Show, and in 1984 formed his own company, Primetime Creative Services. His company has produced shows for CBC, CTV, Global, and Knowledge Network. Jeff met computer guru Steve Dotto and went on to produce the nationally syndicated Dotto on Data and Dotto Tech. Currently, he is a travel writer, sharing his humorous adventures that appear in newspapers across the world.
Do you want to read that?
Certainly.
Present?
Certainly. Well, Jeff, your certificate reads... I have to look at the certificate. Jeffrey Groberman was duly elected by his peers and is now a pioneer member of the British Columbia Entertainment Hall of Fame. As such, and for all to note, a plaque bearing the member's name and discipline hangs in the Pioneer Showcase here in the Orpheum Theatre.
Yeah, thank you. Congratulations. Very nice. Getting for you. I shall put it on your collar here and ruin your shirt. Yeah.
Okay.
Do you want to say a few words?
Yeah, I would like to say a few words. I want to thank the BC Entertainment Hall of Fame for the honor they've bestowed on me as an inducee, as my sister was saying I was being induced into these. Is that right, Hildy?
I thought you liked
Induced into the Hall of Fame.
I was saying inducted.
Yes, inducted is
Thanks,
the
Bill.
I was sort of hoping, you know, guys, for a star on the sidewalk rather than a plaque in the corner here in the Orpheum.
Everyone says that.
To tell the truth, you know, my guy who nominated me, Dave Billman, told me I was a shoo-in for it. I was so sure I would get it. I hired a street guy out there to scrape the gum off it and pick up the butts. Sorry, Bob. I guess you're out of a job. You know what? I should have probably played up my acting more, and that might have done it for me, because I actually had a short acting career just next door at the Commodore. In 1965, UBC had a Mardi Gras celebration, and the theme that year was comic book characters. And I was chosen to star in that production. I was chosen to be Snoopy. And the choreographer picked me, Rob, because I could neither sing nor dance. All I had to do was open the show with the orchestra playing It's a Long Way to Tipperary and march down the aisle, through all the people, go up the stairs, and march back and forth to It's a Long Way to Tipperary. What could go wrong? Well, first thing that went wrong was they made me a huge papier-mâché Snoopy head mask, and the eyes were up here, so I couldn't see, and it was too tight, so I couldn't wear my glasses. So I put the head on, and then the next thing that happened is the spotlight did come directly into my eyes. And I marched up there, and I marched to the left, and then I marched to the right, and right off the stage into the orchestra pit. I did crawl out and up the stairs, and now the Snoopy mask was broken and the head was up, and I did complete my thing. So if that didn't deserve a star, I don't know what does.
We'll work on that.
Okay. Actually, when I got to think about getting a plaque in the Orpheum, I realized that there were cosmic forces at play here, because there's an interesting story about me and the Orpheum. And to explain that to you, I have to take you all back to about 1959. And back then, to go to see the Orpheum, it was a movie theater. As a kid, it was 50 cents for 12 and above, and 15 cents if you were under 12. My parents would give me $1. And that would allow me to go, pay the 50 cents, buy some popcorn, and take the bus there and back. But you wouldn't know it, but back then I was quite short. Not like now. And I could pass for under 12. So I would go every Saturday to the Orpheum, walk up and say, 1 under 12, and at that time there was a lady, every Saturday she was there. I don't know if she was Ivan Ackery's mom, his secretary or what. The same old lady was there all the time, and I would go up, and finally by the 3rd year, I'm not making any of this up, she figured out something was amiss. So I went up that Saturday and she said, I don't think you're 12. And I said, well, do you think I am, a midget? She said, your voice is pretty low and you got 5 o'clock shadow. I want some ID. So I got out my wallet and I'd saved my grade 6 pass.
Yeah.
And I said, and she says, that's pink, they're orange now. She said to me, you're banned from the Orpheum. And I said, for how long? And she said, for life. So I figured she wasn't serious, so a few weeks later I tried again. And she said, I told you, you're banned. So I didn't go to the Orpheum again for like 3 or 4 years. I'm in high school now, I'm driving, and I got a date, and she wants to go to the Orpheum. So I said, she'll never remember. So I walk up, and I say, 2 students, and give her a $5, and she looks at me, and she looks at the $5, and she pushes it back. She said, I told you, you're banned for life. So for the rest of my life, practically, I avoided the Orpheum. Even when it became this venue, I was afraid to come here. So I figure that now I'm here in the plaque in a building, or here in the building that I'm banned for life. And Ivan Ackery, he's sitting out there on the sidewalk, unable to do anything about it. So that's the interesting story of my being banned from the Orpheum. I should point out I've also been banned from several other venues. Stanley, CBC, and Nat Bailey Stadium, but those are our stories for another day. I'd like to thank, although they're not here, the nominees who so graciously nominated me for this honor, in particular Dave Billman, who decided that I should have this honor, and I'm sad that he's not able to make it here today. And I also would like to acknowledge my family. My son is here today, my daughter is in Airdrie, and she'll see the video. And particularly my long-suffering wife, who might tell you that living with me is not necessarily always that entertaining. But she's always been there for me and always been enthusiastic in all the projects that I've done. And I would like to thank her very much for that. So I'd like to thank you all for the honor you've done me, and thank you all for coming. Thank you.
Thank you very much.
That's the one we want.
You're over there.
I'm right here, but I'm pointing to the halls.
Oh.